two questions in one. It says, if God is spaceless, timeless, immaterial, what separates it, assuming God, from nothingness? If nothing exists without cause, then how can God? And if God exists without cause, then why not the universe? This is, again, a category fallacy because you're saying what separates timeless, spaceless, and immaterial from nothingness, as if nothingness exists. Nothingness is the absence of everything. Nothingness doesn't have any properties. It doesn't have any traits. So you can't say that nothing is something and say, well, what makes the nothing different from God if God is timeless? And you're also assuming that nothingness, for example, something spaceless, timeless, and immaterial, if numbers exist, if you're a Platonist, which I'm still undecided on that, but I tend to lean that way, if you think numbers exist, the number is spaceless, timeless, and immaterial. It's not made of matter. It's not in space or time, but if they exist, and they're spaceless, timeless, and immaterial. So to say what separates that from nothingness would be to imply that nothingness can be separated from as if nothingness exists. It says if nothing exists without cause, well, again, nothing doesn't exist, so skip the question. If God exists without cause, then why not the universe? The argument went everything that begins to exist needs a cause, and if God caused the universe, then by a logical deduction of that argument, if God created time, then he has to be timeless, and anything that is timeless is eternal because it never began. So it would be a logical contradiction to ask what caused God if he never began or had to come into existence. It would be like asking to whom is the bachelor married to? You may not like the answer because you don't believe that God is timeless or that God exists, but that feelings do nothing to the validity of truth. The concept of God is that he is timeless, so he cannot begin. If you were to ask me, does a unicorn have a horn? I would say, sure it does. Now, if you were to ask me, does a unicorn exist? I say, unless you're talking about the rhinoceros, then no. So we can agree on concepts without saying that they exist. So the concept of God is that he is timeless, uncaused, unmoved, spaceless, immaterial, and so forth. So you cannot ask, why can't God exist without a cause? Because he didn't begin to exist.